right, so we're back with the Wonder Years, and this time we are in Marcella's household. The last episode was actually supposed to be about Kira and Marcella, but it was very long, so I cut out most of Marcella's parts. So this episode is mainly going to be focusing on Marcella. So she lives in an apartment in Oasis Springs. I think we saw some of her apartment when Janae came to visit her during one of her episodes. Marcella is getting breakfast ready. Her mother, Liz Jones, is babysitting her grandkids while her daughter and son in law are at work, and they're actually upstairs in Marcella's sister's apartment. Liz is off work today. She is actually a fast food worker. And it's extremely hot in Oasis Springs this summer. Extremely hot. And they don't have central air because Marcella's family, out of all four of them, her family has the lowest income. All of them are blue collar workers. And they're about to go to church. Crown is a jam, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? Okay, so they're at Willow Creek Church, and Marcella's father is the pastor at this church, Pastor Ross. So this is Marcella's father and Susanna's father. Okay, so her mother's coming outside because she's talking to him about, child support. He's like, oh, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about you and me. He's like a real charming guy. Like, he's always charming. Marcella's mother. She's like really in love with him. To the point she's willing to basically be a side girlfriend, a mistress. So they're in the back of the church having a private moment. She's like, but seriously, I need more money. And he's just giving her pickup lines. Oh, yeah, you look like you sat in sugar. I don't know. Did you sit in sugar because you have a sweet... Did he really say that? You're lucky you're cute. Okay, so he's saying you're irresistible. Okay, so... But you're a person of few words, but you sure do know how to make them count. Okay, well, they're back there flirting. But, okay... So the story is that Laurent Ross is married to Susanna's mother. However, he's been having this multiple decade long affair with Liz, Marcella's mother. And so the argument always is that, like, you need to help me out. You need to take care of your kids. And he, like, does what he can. I mean, obviously they go to the church and he has a relationship with his children, but he can't give them too much money or his wife will get suspicious. I mean, not like she doesn't know about the affair, but like she will get upset and bring attention to the fact that he's having an affair. And of course, he's the pastor, so he can't have an affair. Like, he can't be... Devin and Janae are in the back of the church, just like flirting, kissing. I mean, is this appropriate? I don't know if this is appropriate. Everybody's having inappropriate relationships in this church. Like, what is happening here? Okay, so Liz and Marcella are sitting in the front of the church with one of Marcella's nieces. That is Carter's sister. I don't know why she's standing right there next to the preacher. One of Pastor's children, it's one of Susanna's sisters, or it is her older sister, who is playing the piano right now. And one of Marcella's nieces was singing. Well, she was singing. Now everybody's listening to the sermon and listening to, I forgot what her name is, play the piano. And she, of course, is really good. I don't know. Like, the sound is not working on here. I guess I'm going to have to add in my own music over this. Because it didn't pick up the sound. So, India brought home $120. So, India is Marcella's sister. She is a hairdresser. So, she works on Sundays sometimes. So, that's why Marcella's nieces are at church with their grandmother. So they're all enjoying the sermon. I don't know why they don't sit down and enjoy the sermon, but oh, here comes Miss Claire in her huge hat. Like, she is dressed to the T for church. Of course, everybody's missing their chests. I mean, like, it's really annoying. Like, they're missing half their chests. Okay, I think her name is Amelia is the one that's playing the piano. All right. Oh my gosh, this little girl is up here. Okay, so now Marcella's gonna sing. So Liz is like, I'm coming to sit in the first lady's seat because my daughter's the one singing, and the lady in the huge hat is Susanna's mother, Lucia Ross, and I believe she and the pastor have like 4 children together, 2 daughters, 2 sons. She is also the official first lady of the church. So she's attempting to ignore the fact that Liz is present in her church. She knows this affair has been going on, but she chooses, as long as it's not made public and they keep it out of her face, she is willing to pretend like her husband is a faithful man. She can sit right next to Liz and pretend like she doesn't exist. Because in her world she does not. Of course, like, Liz does not have that same attitude, so she's always constantly poking at Lucia and starting fights. So, like, you can see them back there arguing while he's giving his sermon. They're back there arguing with each other about who's sitting in the first lady's seat. I can't. She's like, well, I'm just gonna move to the front pew then. I don't care. The pastor's just gonna sit up here and continue his sermon because he's used to people not listening to him. Oh my gosh, they're arguing again. What is happening? Wait, so they're just gonna move in front of him and argue and push each other. Marcella's like, this is embarrassing. I'm leaving to go get something to eat. I don't care that it's not over. Look at Devin's father. He's like, ladies, I can mediate this. She's like, nobody can mediate this. Only the Rock can solve this problem. I completely understand if you and Pastor have issues, but I'd prefer if you left me out of your drama. Well, it's kind of hard to, since you're his wife. Pastor gave a successful speech. Well, you can't tell because nobody actually listened. He's like, you ladies need to be more respectful in my church. He's like, okay, dear. Oh my God. And then Janae and Devin are over there making out by the piano. All right, Marsella has come to talk to her boyfriend who showed up to the end of church so he could eat. She's like, well, the sermon was great. Did you see it? He's like, oh, yeah, I cut the end of it. Marsella keeps dropping hints about wanting a proposal. Maybe it's time for Will to step up to the plate. So Will is going to be a senior next year, so he's going to be leaving for college. And Marcella's only a sophomore, so Marcella's really thinking about like their future. Are they going to continue this relationship? And she's like really in love with him. So she wants to marry him so that they can continue to be together, basically. But Will, I would say that he doesn't love Marsella, but he has other priorities and responsibilities at this time. So his mother just passed away a year ago from breast cancer, and his father is an absentee father. He just abandoned the family a couple of years before that. So Will's been left to raise his brother, and he hasn't turned 18 yet. And so if the authorities find out like that he's not 18 and that there's no adult in the house, they may take his brother away. So he's been doing all these things to kind of try to keep up with the bills and keep up with everything in order so that his brother doesn't get taken away and at least make it to his 18th birthday. So that's been a huge priority, and he hasn't had much time to spend with Marsella, and she understands that, but she also is feeling sort of abandoned in the relationship. So she's always like kind of vying for his attention, basically. She's like, maybe we can hang out on it, go on a date, go out for some cupcakes. Will's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I have to fit it in. I have to take my brother to his baseball game and everything, Marsella, and then I got work, so I'm not sure if I'll have time. She's like, well, what are we? I mean, are we still together? Because I hardly ever see you. I mean, like, my friends who just barely got into relationships spend more time with their boyfriend than I would do with my boyfriend I've had for 2 years now. How does that working out? He's like, I'm really trying, Marcella. So she's asking for more attention. He's like, well, you're such a great guy, and I just don't want to lose you. I want to make sure we're on the same page. He's like, you're not going to lose me. You know I care a lot about you. Why is that girl? Okay. So Amelia she is a school counselor, and she also works in the church. She does like books and stuff for her father. So she's talking to Kiera today because Kiera's parents were like, you have to go to church and you need to talk to the pastor and you need to, get yourself together. And, you need to do all these things because you need to show the court that you're a good child. So she's come up here to talk to Amelia about everything that's going on with her, basically. I texted someone, but they didn't text back. It's been an hour. Should I text them again? No. Just wait. Hey, how have you been? I've been doing great. Thanks for asking. Life is good. So in Kiera's mind, life is good because like she's always wanted to live the exciting life that she reads about in her books, and now she's starting to get a taste of that. And so in her mind, life is good, but in her parents' mind, she's going down the road to destruction. So she's like, okay, let's talk about Bible verses. Kiera's like, okay, I guess so. Let's talk about church activities. We have lots of volunteer activities you can be involved in. So you can go to Bible class and then you can be in, do some volunteer activities with the community. Kara's like, yeah, okay, that sounds fine. I don't mind doing that. Liz is like, we're going to have to tighten up on the finances around the apartment this summer. I mean, it's great that your father's throwing you a 16th birthday party, but he really should be paying for some of the bills. I mean, I can't afford everything on my salary. Marcella's like, why are you telling me this? This has nothing to do with me. This has everything to do with you and Dad. Because maybe you should get a summer job to help out with some of the bills. I mean, you are 16 now. Hi, Camille. How you doing? Camille's like, can y'all discuss this at home? I don't really want to be involved. I mean, I understand y'all are having money problems, but she's like, Mom, I don't have time to have a summer job. I'm always babysitting my nieces. Who's going to watch them? Liz is like, please, you hardly ever babysit your nieces. You're always hanging out with that boy. And you better not get yourself knocked up either. Marcella's like, okay, Mom, whatever you say. She's like, oh, Miss Camille, are you coming to my birthday party? It's going to be a blast. Crown is a jam, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? All right, so it's later in the evening at Marcella's birthday party, and Emilio, who has always been very much in love with Marcella, is over here trying to make a move. Like, you do realize Marcella has a boyfriend, right? Okay, maybe she forgot she had a boyfriend. Okay, so because Will hasn't really been around for the last few months, Marcel's kind of entertained Emilio's advances. Like, Emilio has had a crush on her since they were forever, and he's always flirting with her. She's never really taken him seriously because he's a bit of a playboy. He's a bit of a flake. So, but like, and Will is such a nice guy. But I mean, now she's starting to take him seriously because she's, feeling abandoned by Will, and Emilio's always there making her feel good. So unfortunately, she has been getting closer to Emilio, and essentially, she's been cheating on Will. All right, so because it's Marcella's 16th birthday, her father's coming because he's the one that's paying for the party, but his wife Lucia was not going to let him show up without her. So she's here having a good time, and Liz is pissed. Liz didn't even change out of her church outfit. I mean, it's a birthday party, Liz. You could have at least changed out your church outfit. And I don't know what Lucia is doing, but she is just having fun. She is like, yep, I'm enjoying the fact that I get to butt on in to this birthday party you thought you were going to throw for your daughter. All right, so Elise and Janae are sitting down. They're sitting here talking about Odell because Elise has figured out that Odell is as much of a flake as his friend Emilio. She's like, I don't know. I mean, he said he was coming. He was going to come to the party with me, but I haven't heard anything since our great date the other day. It's like, really? He hasn't called you? Not at all. He hasn't returned any text messages. He hasn't returned any of my social bunny messages. I mean, and I've left about 100 of them. Janae's like, I don't think you should probably be leaving that many messages. I mean, maybe, you should give him time to call you back. Elise is like, why would I do that? He's already stood me up once. This man is not standing me up again. It's like, Marcella's like, you can't control that, Elise. I mean, and you see who he hangs out with, and I can already tell you, him and his friends, they're all flicks. Janae's like, what do you mean? Devin hangs out with Odell and Emilio. Marcella's like, yeah, but Devin is a dork, so there's a difference. What do you mean? Devin is not a dork. Marcella's like, yeah, I beg to differ. He's a dork. All right, so Will finally made it to the party late. And apparently the pastor is drunk and out here kissing on his wife. Liz is going to be pissed. But Marcella could care less because Will finally showed up, so that's all she cares about at the moment. And Will has been acting real paranoid lately. I don't know if it's the way he's been making his money. Supposedly he has a job at a fast food restaurant, but then he also has a side gig that Marcella thinks sounds a little shady. But for right now, she just wants to love on him and tell him that she missed him, and hopefully he'll, spend the rest of her birthday with her. She's like, okay, well, so we can enjoy the party together, Will's like, yeah, I can't really stay that long, though, because I don't have a sitter for my brother, so, I came just to say happy birthday to you, though. So Kiera is not really sure what to do, because Ahmed had been following her around all yesterday, but today he seems to just be ignoring her, so she's not sure what happened. She doesn't realize he had the conversation with Marsella, and since he's kind of socially awkward or awkward when it comes to girls, he's now thinks he needs to give her space, and this is his way of giving her space. He purposely ignoring her. I mean, I don't know, but in Ahmed's mind, he thinks he's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a good boyfriend. All right, so Marcella is mad that Will had to leave, but she couldn't really argue because he does have to go home to be with his brother. So she's over here dancing. She's gonna do a line dance with Janae to cheer herself up. Marcella, you stepped out of the line dance. Like, this is not a line dance. What is happening? Okay, we'll forget it. The line dance didn't happen. But Marcella did reach level 3 of dancing. So this is a black pool party, so nobody's actually in the pool. But Marcella decided she wanted to go swimming. She's like kind of overcompensating for the fact that like her boyfriend really didn't show up for her birthday the way she wanted him to. And it's really kind of pissing her off that like Janae and Devin are so lovey-dovey at her birthday party. So she's gonna go sit in the hot tub and warm herself up after being in the pool. Oh, okay. Well, I guess Amelia's gonna join her. She's like, oh, hey, Amelia. It's like, saw you over here by yourself, so I figured I'd come over and join you, if that's okay. She's like, yeah, it's fine. She's like, he's like, oh, so I saw Will, but I haven't seen him since then. Marcel's like, well, if you must know, Will left. Is that okay with you? He's like, yeah, it is okay with me, because now I can come over and talk to you. It's like, you know, if I were your boyfriend, I'd never leave your birthday party. I'd be here all night long. Marcella's like, yeah, okay, Amelia, whatever. He's like, it's not whatever. You know, you should be treated better. You know you're the prettiest girl in the school, and you know I'm the school football star. So technically, you know, we should be the ones that are together, not you and whatever his name is. His name is Will. You know his name. He's like, yeah, but he's, you know, not really in your league, kind of like I am. I don't even know what you mean by that, Emilio. It's like, you know, he's kind of a lame. You know. No, I don't know. Will is not a lame. He takes care of his brother. He has a job. He has a lot of things he's doing. He's going to college next year. He's a grown man. He doesn't have time to play children's games like you. Janae's like, why is she in the hot tub with Emilio? Should we be concerned about this? Kara's like, I don't know. It seems innocent to me. They're just sitting there talking. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like anything's ever innocent when it comes to Emilio. I just don't want her making any mistakes she's gonna regret. Marcella's like, Emilio, is there a reason you came over here to talk to me about my boyfriend? It's like, maybe it's because I want to be your boyfriend. You know? I mean, we've been spending a lot of time together lately, and you know I really like you. You know I want you to be my girlfriend. And Will's not around. Marcella's like, I know. Just turn around. Like, just let me, you know, take his place for the night. You know, make you feel good on your birthday. It's just, you know, for the night. Then you can go back to doing whatever you do with Will. Marcella's like, yeah, I don't think that's how that works. Like, you know, he's my boyfriend. She's like, yeah, but I'm willing to keep it a secret if you are. Just like, I think you're cute. Don't you think I'm cute? Marcella's like, yeah. Oh my gosh, now they're kissing. Ahmad's like, so have you seen Kiara? Did she go read a book? And Janae's like, I can't believe this is happening in the freaking. And why are you sitting down? Get up, Graham. I don't have time for you. They're really messing around in the hot tub. Graham is like, yeah, no. I mean, like, it's crazy, ain't it? I mean, what's Will gonna say? So Kira is outside. She is feeling a little anxious. She's like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of my first high school party, and I'm feeling nervous because, remember, she doesn't go to school with them, so she doesn't usually go to the parties that they go to. And she's so happy that Ahmed finally came over and said hi to her. He's like, I'm sorry. I just, someone told me that you thought you needed space, and, I mean, but I really didn't want to give you space, but they said to give you space. But I really missed you. And Kira's like, oh, Ahmed, you're so great. He's like, Kira, you're the best girl I know. She's like, oh, this has been the best birthday party I've ever been to, including my own. She's like, and now they're going to have their first kiss. I mean, I don't know. Is that a kiss? She's like, Ahmed, I really missed you too. And there's no reason why you need to give me space, Okay. Well, now they're going to actually have their first kiss. This is Kiara's first kiss ever. Aww. And it's probably Ahmed's first kiss too. Let's be honest here. Crown is a jam, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? So Emilio convinced Marsella to let him take her to the pier. He's like, I want to take you on a date. So she was like, fine, because this is her birthday and she really just didn't want to go home because her mother's in a bad mood and all she would do is go to bed, spend the rest of her birthday alone. So instead she's going to spend it with Emilio, and I guess like she is said she's going to be his girlfriend. Emilio's like, yeah, it's going to be perfect. You and me, power couple next year. And first kiss, I mean, they'd had a whole mess around session in the jacuzzi, but I guess this is their first kiss. So Marcella knows that Will is moving on. I mean, he's going to college next year. He's not going to have time to be, in a relationship with her anymore. So she's come to this realization, being that he's not shown up to her birthday party. I mean, he's kind of like hinted that he's not interested in being in a relationship anyway because he's been leaving notes for other girls. So she has decided that she's gonna give Emilio a chance. I mean, he's been running after her for years, so even though she's pretty certain he's gonna flake, she's gonna give him a chance because he's being nice to her right now. So all right, so Emilio's buying her some sliders, and of course he's trying to put on all the sauce because you know now that she's his girlfriend, he just wants to do everything physical he can possibly do with her because he's a boy. So Amelia's like, so you're really mine now? She's like, yeah, it's you and me, I guess. It's like, so when are you going to tell Will that we're together and you're breaking up with him? She's like, I'll tell him tomorrow. I don't want to ruin my birthday. He's like, yeah, well, you better tell him tomorrow. She's like, yeah, okay, Emilio, I'll tell him tomorrow. And, I know Will wouldn't make any promises to you, but I'm definitely making promises to you. I mean, when I leave to go to college, you're still mine. Just saying. So Emilio is going to be a junior next year, but he already has like a lot of offers at colleges because he's a big football star. So um, he kind of sees, well, at this moment, he sees Marcella as his like trophy girlfriend. So, at this moment in time, he's willing to give her a promise ring in order to basically like keep her around. Now, is he actually going to fulfill those promises? Probably not. So they're going back to his house. Gonna sneak in so that they can spend time together because he lives in a relatively large house and his parents don't really pay attention to what he does. So they definitely can't go back to Marcella's apartment because it's small and her mom is probably sitting on the couch waiting for her to come home. Now, Marcella is definitely more experienced than her friends, but technically she is still a virgin, or she was. She never actually had woohoo with Will because he knew she was a virgin and he was her first serious boyfriend. And so he wanted to be respectful of that. Marcella has kissed multiple guys. She's made out with them. Like, so she definitely has a lot more experience than Janae, Elise, and Kira combined. But did that say no protection was used? Really, Emilio? And so anyway, Amelia is her first. Now, Emilio is definitely very experienced. Like, this is not his first time. And he kind of knows that by giving her the promise ring that she wanted from Will and then being her first is going to seal her affections for him. And Emilio is extremely competitive, so he sees this as winning her from Will, which is some part of the appeal. And I mean, obviously he has had a crush on. Hey, I heard you became. Janae is calling. Like, where are you, girl? You better not be with Emilio. Janae does not like Emilio. Like, she knows him through Devin. Like, because Devin and Emilio are friends. They're on the basketball team together. She does not like Emilio. She thinks he's a flake. And I think, like, most of the girls know Emilio's a flake. I mean, he's a good-looking guy, and he's kind of charming, but they don't, I mean, they know he's a heartbreaker. Crown is a jam, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? So this is the next day, and Marcella is now with Will. She came over here to try to break up with him, but then once she saw him, and he's really apologetic about the fact that he wasn't able to stay at her birthday party, and he's like, I really want things to work out with us, and I mean, I'm really sorry, Marcella. I wish I could have, gotten a babysitter, but she canceled at the last minute. I mean, I feel so bad, but I want to make it up to you today. Let's spend the whole day together. And as much as she likes Emilio, she is still in love with Will. So of course, like, if when Will's turning on the charm, she's not gonna, like, I mean, she's gonna say yes to Will because they have history and he has her heart. But she's feeling extremely guilty about the fact that she just finished sleeping with Emilio. So this is really complicated. So, all right, so she's flirting with him and she doesn't want to mess up the moment because this is like the most affectionate he's been in a long time. So she doesn't want to talk to him right now about what's going on with her and Emilio. She figures, like, let's work it out. Let's, make sure we have our bond is still strong, and then I'll talk to him about it. But for right now, I'm not going to talk to him about it. And then, I'll just tell Emilio we have to break up. So she's made up her mind that she wants to stay with Will after like 5 seconds. So clearly, Emilio doesn't know. Emilio thinks he's better than he actually is. That night didn't get. That night did not catch her for real. Marcella's like, I'll make us breakfast and then we can hang out with your little brother and, just spend the day together, like he said. So, Marcella is over making breakfast for them. She really loves this because, this is kind of like what it would be like if they were to end up getting married. And Marcella doesn't have, she doesn't have the ambitions that Janae has or that any of her friends have because, Janae wants to be a lawyer. She wants to go to college. She wants to go to law school. Elise wants to be a horse trainer. And Kiera wants to be a writer. So they all have big ambitions. And Marcella doesn't really have those ambitions. She just wants to be somebody's wife. Her mother was never anybody's wife. Her mother was always the mistress. So in her mind, this is her doing better than her mother. So, and this is why she would want to be with Will, because she knows Will would marry her. If they stay together, they'll eventually get married. And so that's why she wants to work things out with Will, because she knows Emilio is like her father. He's the type of guy that, is charming and handsome and, he'll pull you in, but he's never going to actually commit. So, that's why she's well, I want to be with Will. They're on the couch, snuggled together, and she's dreaming about, how it'll be in the future with him and when they have their kids. And she's excited for the future now because he's finally getting on the same page with her. And, he's promised that they're going to stay together once he goes to college and that he is going to eventually marry her, that there's no other girl for him. And Marcella is completely elated and she knows this future with Will is going to be great and she can't wait to see what happens. So this is her sentiments with Emilio. So she and Emilio are actually soulmates. They have good compatibility. They're promised. This is her first ever woohoo partner. She has a crush on him. His first sentiment about her is responsible and an interesting sim, and he feels deeply connected to her. I think that Emilio in his mind at this moment is ready to commit to Marcella, but I'm not sure he has the capacity or capability to do so. However, she is also soulmates with Will. They have good compatibility. They're boyfriend and girlfriend. He is the first sim she ever kissed, and she cheated on him. Her sentiments about him are crush and adoring, and his are also crush and adoring. So I feel like their goals and sentiments about each other match each other, and Will would actually marry her. All right, so apparently Marcella agrees because she's sending a text to Emilio to tell him that she has to break up with him. And so she kind of blocked him because she didn't want to know about the response. She doesn't even want to deal with it. So she is spending the day with Will and she's going to enjoy her time with him until she has to deal with the fact that Emilio is probably going to show up at some point wanting to know why she broke up with him. All right, so they're just watching his little brother play, and they'll probably take him to the park a little bit later. Marcella is really content, but she is still feeling extremely guilty about the fact that she cheated on Will. Crown is a jam, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? All right, so she has decided to go talk to Jada because she does not want to hear Janae's mouth because she knows Janae can't stand Emilio and she just wants an impartial point of view about what she should do about what happened with Emilio at her party. So she's come over to talk to Jada, but Jada is not here right now, apparently. Jada's little sister is here, but Jada is not. So I guess she'll go upstairs and wait in Jada's room for her to get home. Principal is calling. Yeah, she was supposed to go to summer school today, but instead she decided to skip and spend her time with Will. Besides, that is her way of avoiding Emilio because Emilio will be in summer school. So she's feeling really nauseous. She's like, ugh, God, what did I drink last night? Ugh, I feel terrible. All right, so Marcella hasn't been feeling good for most of the day. And I mean, in real life, this would be too soon, but in the sim world, it's just on time. So it looks like she may or may not be pregnant. She's hoping it's just a hangover from the non existent alcohol she never had. But I'm pretty sure it's not.